Ooh, I like this with the birds chirping.
Mm-hmm.
That's a nice backdrop to Coffee Talk.
Yeah.
Well, good morning, everybody, and welcome to Coffee Talk as we have a bit of a nature documentary for you today. We're here in the wilds of West Kelowna.
Yeah.
Any minute now, the gentleman I see across the street's probably going to fire up a power tool. But while we have you, we're just happy to spend some time together down at Green Bay.
This is Green Bay.
This is a Green Bay.
This is the Green Bay.
The Green Bay.
The Green Bay. We'll talk more about that in just a moment. But first, as we look back, we do every week. Jeff, you've started us in a new series. Daniel.
Yep.
And I'm trying very hard not to picture a little cartoon tiger every time I say the name Daniel.
Yeah.
But it'd be really great if next Sunday you came up on stage and first you walk off to the side and you switch your sweater and then make your way to the center.
Learn how to tie your shoes.
That's right. Sit down, tie your shoes. Oh man, that'd be beautiful. Gentlemen, quick question for you. A little survey this morning. How many different loyalty programs are you a part of?
Oh.
This is why I pulled my phone out. I'm like, how many? Because I got that one and that one, and there's that one. I'm up 3 as I scroll through 4, 5.
We're not naming an
6,
advertising.
7. No,
okay.
They don't pay me to do that. We're to like 8, 9, 10. I know I've got more in here. 11, 12.
This is kind of like Christmas Plus.
13.
Right? Like
Oh my
we're
goodness,
adding up all the
14,
subscriptions.
15. Oh, that's the OG one. 15 there. I've got at least 15 different loyalty program apps on my phone.
Okay.
Oh, apps.
Just apps that track my loyalty. And I'm trying to think about other loyalty programs that I'm a part of.
Could being on the Lakeview email be included in that as well too?
Well, it depends. What do you have to give up to get that loyalty program?
It's all benefits.
I can think of at least 2 more that I just don't have as apps on my phone.
Yeah.
Wow.
You know, it's crazy how many loyalty programs.
Yes.
And the theme is I'm not exactly loyal to any of them, right?
Yeah.
I want the free stuff because I have like 3 different pizza-related loyalty programs on my phone, right?
Yeah.
And it's like that's not really loyalty.
Yeah.
If I'm like, who's got a better sale today? And so I say that because I do think we've lost track a little bit of what the word loyalty means.
Or how wide it is.
Yes.
Right? Like how focused and wide it is.
Yeah. Like today I'm going to be loyal to Domino's, but tomorrow Papa John's is going to get my cat. Like that's not really loyalty.
Right.
And what you started us with in Daniel is Daniel and his friends really quickly had to assess what it means to be loyal to God. And so if you could, Jeff, just take a moment and I'll remind everybody, the overarching theme of this is God's got it.
Yep.
And so for me, if I'm trusting that God has it, then that sort of is like, great, I can be loyal to God, I can trust that he's got it. But there's 4 areas of life that Daniel and his friends were being pulled into.
Yep.
And so if you could just quickly remind us, what are the 4, and then we'll continue on.
Yeah. So it started off with education, 3-year education program. They were going to be trained in all things Babylonian, which would include all kinds of stuff that would expose them to things that they didn't believe, right? As people who followed Yahweh from Israel. Secondly, loyalty to the king. Lifetime of service to the king. I'll not use the loyal word.
Right.
And then third, they were going to be given change in names. And fourth, they were to eat food from the king's table. So those were the 4 things.
Thank you. I knew them.
You're
Good
testing
job.
me.
You got
Thank
them.
you. Yeah. Do I remember?
Well done.
I was like, if I was on the spot, I probably would only come up with 3. Okay, so, and it was the food one that's the one they chose not to go along with.
Yeah.
Which I think for me as a listener, I'm sure all of us would probably have assessed it a little different, right?
Oh,
like, if someone came today to my house and said, okay, 4 new things, I probably would push against the education. I would be like, oh, I got to guard my mind.
Yeah.
I don't know, like if you would, you did sort of say in the sermon, Jeff, that you can't believe they went along. Like that was the one that seemed a little crazy to you.
Yeah.
But if it was today we were in that situation, which one do we think we'd more naturally lean towards? pushing against?
Yeah, education would be one of them, but lifetime of service would probably, like make me wait. Am I really gonna,
Yeah.
dedicate my life to this? That probably would be a contender for the top as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Even the fact that you walked us through even what their names mean,
Mm-hmm.
that names could have been actually. The other ones felt a little bit more external.
Mhm.
That one was more like,
Yeah.
no, you're changing my identity
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
by changing
Right.
my name because
Mhm.
I actually, my name means this, and therefore that's kind of who I am and who
Mhm.
I'm focused on trying to be. And like, I probably would say the education too, but that's a really big one,
Yeah.
right? And
Yeah.
We really
wouldn't
don't.
say food. We wouldn't say food.
We really
Yeah.
downplay it. Well, that's partly because we're all young guys and we'll eat pretty much anything that gets put in front of
and,
us.
and we probably don't understand. we probably don't understand even like what eating food from the king's table means. Right?
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
It is maybe the one that's most culturally removed from us.
Yeah.
Although the names, I would say, is a close second.
Yeah.
Because we don't have the same I am what my name means kind of mentality
And-
that they did in those days.
And all of those were like a representation of God is this or God
Yeah.
is that or God's goodness, right?
So you focused in, Jeff, on the fact that they refused to eat the food because that was the one that meant absolute loyalty to the king.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think the other side of that then is you can learn all kinds of things, but not surrender your loyalty.
Right.
You can change your name, which is fundamental to your identity, and not lose your loyalty.
Mm-hmm.
You can serve a foreign enemy
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
and not change your loyalty.
Yep.
But what is the one thing that says, no, my loyalty will be
Yeah.
shifted off of God and onto this person if I do that? And
Yep.
for them, it was the food.
Mm-hmm.
And it was to eat at the tables. It wasn't even just the food specifically,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Because you pointed out
From
the
the king's
wine
table.
issue.
Yeah.
Wine wasn't a prohibited
Yeah,
thing. So,
yeah.
but it's when you sit to dine with the king, that means you are loyal instead of loyal to God. And so, I have been struggling and wrestling, I guess is maybe a better word, in the last few days to kind of think of what is the Canadian equivalent for us, because I don't have a foreign, empire saying you're going to come and eat with us, and here's what you need to learn, and but there are things I think in our day that challenge us, our loyalty to Jesus,
Mm-hmm.
and so. Sorry, I just flicked the spider off my foot onto yours, Jeff. I meant to hit the grass there. I'm like, I am not going to contain my train of thought.
This
if
really is a nature show.
100%. I did not kill it. No spiders were harmed in the making of this coffee time. But I'm like, my train of thought is gone if I don't deal with this spider, and too late. Where I was going to go though is it's that issue of right. We don't have the demands to shift loyalty off of Jesus in the same way that Daniel and his friends do. But what is it that might really subtly, without us noticing, pull our loyalty away?
Well-
Sometimes it's family, but go on.
What can I say? Even
Yeah.
so, just like your app,
Yeah.
we sometimes don't even know who we're loyal
Yeah,
to
that's a good point.
or who we're loyal against.
Yeah.
I think that's half of it too. We don't necessarily always evaluate that because we think, oh, we're just going to love our enemy and whatever. We'll love everybody. Great. We'll be at peace. And then Edmonton gets into the playoffs and Calgary
Yeah.
doesn't. And all of a sudden my loyalty is challenged, and then I'm trying to figure out, why do I hate Edmonton? And I seriously had to ask that question. And my kids actually were challenging me a little bit of like, Dad, you actually are not like, this is a Canadian team. That's a good thing,
This is
Yeah.
not
You-
Boston.
Yeah. But for some reason, there was something deep in the core of me that I realized had actually kind of been built into me for 20 years living in Calgary of like, I have to be loyal to this and I have to hate that. So like, even just trying to evaluate it, and even then, well, at least they're Canadian because what's the opposite of that? I don't want to be loyal to that, right? Like, so I think half of it too is that we don't always know what we're loyal to and loyal against. But I do appreciate even that thought because there are a lot of things that probably we can see and we understand and we can say, I'm loyal to this, which means I'm also against that.
Well, does loyal to something always means you have to hate something? I guess
Yeah.
is part of the question. And
If it's in opposition, yeah.
when it is in opposition, absolutely, I think
or
that's fair.
or
but is
calls
it-
you away from
yeah.
that loyalty.
Actually, I think we got to check ourselves here.
hmm
You got to make a good point. It's not about hating,
hmm
because they always loved, like, as you read through Daniel,
Yeah.
there's an invitation to the king
Yeah.
of Babylon,
Yeah.
who's the enemy,
Yeah.
to join to shift his loyalty, to recognize who he is. And so, like, I'm thinking about Daniel 3 this week, and in Daniel 3, like, it's all about King Nebuchadnezzar
Yeah.
being invited through what's happening to a different way of thinking, right?
No,
And so there's a love
absolutely.
there. Yeah.
The thing I think we struggle humanly to understand is that extreme loyalty to God
hmm
leads us to love for others.
Yes.
And the more, like, so you can then even love Edmonton because our first and foremost loyalty is to God,
Yeah.
who right, who is also a fan of Edmonton and Calgary and just the people in general. And so I think
Yeah.
that does question what loyalty looks like.
And I agree with that. And Jeff, I actually hear what you're saying, but here's where I'm coming at it is that, like, I think that's step 3 because you're in chapter 3. Step 1 is, from a human perspective, how do I deal with the emotion? I think coming into this of the fact that this is the same country that actually destroyed my family, my home, led my people away. Humanly, I should hate them. That's actually
Yeah.
what I think is also at the essence of this as well too, is that it looks like they don't hate this people. It looks like they are actually willing, I'm going to say willing, but willing to not go along, I don't know what the word is, but to be a part of this whole situation, take it in stride, trust God through it, and when that time is right, to actually serve the king honorably, right? And like you said, with the wisdom of God, to be able to say, Jeremiah 29, right? That God is going to put the exiles into a city where they are foreigners. They are not going to be the people of that city. However, their job is to love that city deeply and dearly, to pray and to care and to work for the prosperity of that city out of love and loyalty to God, and out of trust with God, realizing that they're still human and they might have actually some of the. That's where I was. Yeah.
I think you're onto something, because I think what you're kind of highlighting is that if their loyalty was first and foremost to Israel,
Yeah.
then I think that's the position they probably would have found themselves in. And
Yes.
we're speculating.
Yes.
That's I recognize that. Probably their loyalty, if it was first and foremost to their country instead of to God, they would have hated everything about that,
Yeah.
and they would have been bitter.
Yeah.
But because their loyalty was to God first and foremost, they were able to endure an awful situation.
Yeah.
And endure all of that, refrain from, we don't see evidence of bitterness because they're able to faithfully serve the king. They're able to stay true to what they believe is right, and yet still love and honor this new king, and even the person that the king put in over them, right? It seems like, I read this and I'm like, oh, they're trying not to get this guy killed. They're trying not to get him in trouble. They just want to, they want to be able to, I think, live well.
Yeah.
And so that all, I think, leads us back to just that, question of what are we loyal to, and, have we slipped in some way into being more loyal to something else instead of loyal to God? And I think that's something for us to check in on from time to time.
It takes a lot of thought. The whole thing, like, even the education, they didn't take it lightly. They thought, I think they thought through, okay, I can learn, but I have to make sure that I keep reminding myself of what is really true.
Yeah.
So it's not just, oh yeah, you can go, immerse yourself in anything and learn all about it. that's not what they're saying. They're saying you can learn about it, but keep reminding yourself what's true.
Yeah.
You know, you can serve the king, but keep reminding yourself who you really serve.
Yeah.
You can have your name changed, but your true identity is right here, not what people call you.
Yeah.
And so I think we gotta. That's the bigger thing that I'd like to get back to is like whether they felt hatred towards Babylonians or not. Yeah, they probably did, but the story highlights that they loved them anyways because they were so confident in God. And so I think that's the challenge to us is like, how do I maintain my identity as God's child who's loved by the king, who nothing that goes on around me can ultimately destroy me. It might destroy my health, it might destroy my relationships, but I'm still loyal to him no matter what, right? And that brings up so many things. Like it brings up individual things, like am I actually being loyal to my paycheck? Am I being loyal to the dreams that I have for myself? Am I being loyal to my my family over God? Like so many things, right?
Absolutely.
Am I being loyal to my country over God? Like I think that's a real challenge for many people today. So yeah, there's a lot of sorry.
No,
Going off on that, but
I
yeah.
think, I think it's one in the same. Right. Where it's the two-sided coin of everything.
Yeah.
Because who we are is it matters most who God thinks we are than who we think.
Yeah.
Right. And not to put down like some people will hear that and go, oh, he's anti-self-esteem. No, that's good. God wants us to be authentically who he made us, and that's people when we recognize in ourselves value and all of that, and they didn't lose that in the midst of it. And part of what I'm taking comfort in too in all of this is like you challenged us to learn about our culture we're in, and we can do that without sacrificing
adopting
who we
it.
are and without adopting. And that as someone who like I enjoy studying our culture and learning like where are people coming from.
Right.
And we've often talked about the value of being curious.
Yes.
And I think this even leads back into our values as a church. Of, right, being sincerely curious and asking questions and not allowing our loyalty to God to create us into people who are judgmental first and come at it with well that's against, but actually hearing, where are you coming from? I imagine when they met the majority of Babylonian people were probably not like real hateful towards Israel. They were just following the king. And, and that sometimes
and many of them are in the same boat.
Exactly.
The people they were being trained with were probably from this country and that country and that nation and that town and whatever.
And it all then melts together. And you'll unpack. Many of us know kind of where the story goes, and we know that the king eventually wrestles with faith in God and all of that. And I can't help but think that he wouldn't get there if everybody he met who was loyal to the true God in an abrupt and angry way didn't. If that was his entire experience of people who were followers of the true God, he probably would have never gone, oh, I should consider that.
It's really like as you say that it's kind of a model of sharing Jesus, because these guys they demonstrated this love and invitation and patience and just continued confidence and boldness in who they were, but not in but like you just kept being faithful, kept being loving, and kept being true. And
kind of how we model wrestling with the sermon, Daniel models wrestling with faith and loyalty and staying true to God and all of that. And so thanks for letting us kind of keep the conversation of Sunday morning going, because that's really what we want to invite you into, whether you're part of other groups that do that or not. So what we have is we wrestle with all of these continuings of the sermon. Life groups are a great place that often that happens. And so it's fall again. Many life groups are resuming. And Jeff, if people want to get more
Yeah, talk to me.
or know what we mean by that term.
Yeah, talk to me, fill out a card, send an email, talk to Kevin. But we are wanting to start probably the last weekend in September is when we want to make sure we know. Actually, we want to know before then who's wanting to be a part of a group that hasn't been, or if you're like, man, I'd like to try a different kind of group, a different night or a different day or whatever. Ask us all those questions, and we would love to make sure that you are a part of a group, because these are where these kind of things happen, and it's through talking about it and thinking about it that we move our thoughts from here to our heart. So Life Group's a great place for that. Thanks.
Excellent. Okay, I said off the start, we're down at Green Bay.
Yes.
The Green Bay.
Mm-hmm. This is the
This
Green Bay.
this is the bay that is called Green Bay.
And there's lots of green in it. So.
We had thought we had thought about filming at the camp, which is where we hope you'll all be on Sunday after the service at noon for our picnic, or maybe Saturday evening, the night before, when they have their big open house.
Mm-hmm.
But they are such an active year-round thing. Where, what did they say? They had like 400 international students showing up today.
Yep.
And we just didn't want to get in the way of that. Plus, we were told no. So, no, because they have 400 people coming, and it's just going to be they're excited about all their ways to serve the community and serve that group of people, and we didn't want to take away from that. So, but come on down to the camp. You can check out the bay while you're there, but head on down to the camp Sunday at noon for the picnic, and or for their open house the night before. Any picnic specific details everybody needs to be aware of? It's like
we're providing burgers and buns and drinks, but everything else you'll see on the screen is kind of being split up by everybody, so that we can kind of keep some of our costs down, but also, you get to try somebody else's stuff, and it's a good way to just share and enjoy together, and it's a pretty relaxed afternoon.
Relaxed afternoon, great location, great people. It's all good all around. We have another business leaders. I say we, but really it's not the three of us putting it on, but there's a business leaders breakfast coming up. Saturday the
20th, so it's a week from this Saturday.
Okay.
And so Saturday the 20th at 9 a.m. Is a business leaders breakfast where a group has kind of been forming around just sharing the opportunity to what is it like to be a follower of Christ in business, and how also we can learn from each other business wise, but also kind of what we've been talking about of like walking through faith in maybe some more difficult areas of life where and this is not specifically, you don't have to own a business to be there, just be able to reach out to Roma, connect, and let her know that you're going to be there, and then just show up. It's a great morning just to share together.
Yeah,
wonderful.
It's really good.
Speaking of sharing, we've shared an invitation to join children's ministry in one of our 3 levels. If you want to just know more about that, you can speak to me or come for lunch on the 28th after the service in the fellowship room, and we'll share kind of the vision for the year ahead, ways to get involved, and more than anything, hopefully, you'll share with us your signing on the line of I want to be a volunteer, and that would be wonderful. It is a loyalty program, but we have no perks other than faithfulness to Jesus. And
I think there's tons of perks.
There totally
It's
is.
so good.
I mean, you get to hang out with kids, and that's a pretty
great.
fun thing if that's your bent. I love it. A lot of people who serve there really do.
Oh yeah.
It. I just mean there's no like cash back or you know, we're not great at giving out free pizza. Though if you ask nice, we'll find it.
We should start a Lakeview point system.
No, we should not.
All right, let's not do that.
That's directly related to how close you get to be to the front.
Oh, is that
Right?
so? Really, I would have.
Because-
Never mind.
because further up is better seats.
I just think Jerry has all the points. Anyways, anything else that we need to make sure people are on top of today? That's a lot to
good.
throw
Yeah,
at them
yeah.
the last 25 minutes. But so thanks for spending some time with us. May you, we hope to see you Sunday or Saturday or any day really, but especially with the service on the Sunday morning or here at the picnic. And if not, we'll try and connect in person real soon.